Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So here, use integration by parts and substitution to integrate this. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, let this thing here, be W. So let's W equals this. Then if W equals this, then dW equals this. Now make dx a subject, so times both sides by x. That will then give you this. So later on, we will need to find a way of getting rid of this x because we want to integrate it with respect to W. So later on, we will somehow need to do something to cancel out this x. So anyway, let's put this back into here. So this goes back into here. So that and then put W into here. So this whole thing here will then become this. So this whole thing here will then become this. So now tidy this up. That will then give you this. that will then give you this. So now we are integrating with respect to W. So we need to find a way of getting rid of this x here because we are integrating with respect to W. So earlier we said let W equals natural log of x. So we need to find a cunning way of getting rid of this x. Well, if we said W equals this thing here, then what you do is you equally to both sides. So that will then give you this, and then remember we are trying to find a cunning way of getting rid of this x squared. Well, if you so currently we are here. If you square both sides, that will then give you this thing here. So now we can put this back into here. Then everything will be in terms of W because we are trying to integrate with respect to W. Well, if x squared here, well you can put this into here. That will then give you this. So now all we need to do now is to integrate this. So looking at this, we should be able to by now we should be able to recognize that we should use integration by parts, and that we should make this to be our u, and then we should make this to be our v prime. Because when you differentiate it later, excuse me, it will become easier to integrate. So we are trying to integrate this now. So use integration by parts. So remember how we are now at this stage here. We need to now integrate this. So to integrate that, use integration by parts. So let u equals this thing. Let v prime. Let this be v prime here. So if u equals this, then u prime equals this. If v prime equals this, then v equals this. So now blindly follow this formula here. It's saying get u times v. It's saying get u times v. So that will then give you a half w squared e to w minus, and then it's saying minus the integral of it's saying get u prime times v. So it's saying get u prime times v. So that will then give you w e to w d w. Okay. So now so this whole thing here will then become this. Okay. So now we need to repeat the process. Use integration by parts again to evaluate this. So now let's just concentrate on this section here, and then later we can put it back into the whole thing. Okay. So basically we are now at this stage here, but then we need to still evaluate this. So we need to use integration by parts again to evaluate this. So now let's just concentrate on this part only. So this part only. So this part only is this bit here. So we are now just concentrating on this part only. Okay. So this part only will be well, repeat the same process. It's saying get u times v. It's saying get u times v. So that will be that will be a half w e to w minus, and then blah blah blah. Follow this instruction, and then it will then give you this. it will then give you this. So the part that we were interested in, equals this. Okay. So now, now let's start all over again. Just to summarize, we right from the start, bear with me. Right from the start, we were trying to evaluate this, and then use substitution, blah blah blah. That would then take us to this, and then we needed to integrate this. Let's call this thing here capital I. So capital I equals this. So remember, when we integrate this the first time round, it gave us this, and then now we need to evaluate this. We need to use integration by parts again to evaluate this. So looking at this as one block. So you've got a minus. Remember, the minus is outside of this block here. Well, integrating this here will then give you this whole thing here. Okay. So now tidy this whole thing out here. So basically you've got a minus this thing here. That's a minus this thing here, and then you've got a plus now, and then this is a constant. Well, it will then take you to this part here. So now this bit here should be easy to integrate. Okay, integrating that, it will then give you this. And then earlier we said let w equals the natural log of x. So now all we need to do now is put this into here. So hang on, bear with me. So now earlier we said let w equals the natural log of x. So now we need to put this into here. So this half here is this half, and then put this into here. So that would be ln squared. Well, that this thing here is the same as natural log of x squared. So put this into here. So that will then give you this, and then come this bit here. Hang on. Remember, you're putting this into the w. So it's like this: e2 times w, but we are putting this into the w. So that becomes e2 natural log of x. So now visualize this thing here as being, well, when you have one thing times another thing, you can rewrite it as this: natural log of x, and then squared, So now this thing here will then become x, and then this thing here becomes, well, it will become x squared. So if you put this into here, this whole thing here will become x squared. Okay, and then put this thing here into here. That will then give you this, and then put it into here again. Again, this whole thing here will become x squared, and then put this into here. Blah blah blah. This whole thing here will then become this. So now tidy up, and overall the answer will be this. Okay.